Redditors who work nights, what's something that people who work days will never quite understand about the graveyard shift? Graveyard shifts feel so peaceful and the air feels so clean and fresh. That sounds very relaxing. Without blackout blinds, your biggest enemy becomes the sun. And construction workers. It's not really a dream job to work nights all the time. You act like I have the whole day free, but most of it is spent sleeping. Or trying to sleep. On the upside of graveyard shift is the commute. Barring any accidents, overnight roadwork crews, or severe weather, it's a dream to just cruise down the highway with maybe a few cars in sight on the way to work. Depending on which way the traffic tends to flow and how heavy it is when you get off, the drive home can be miserable though. 45 minutes to work, 3.5 hours home. That a big part of your off time is a waste. I can't cut my grass at 3 AM. Having only one day off seems so useless. Most of that day is me catching up on sleep. We hate all of you sunshine people. Day shift. Shudders, bunch of frickin' weirdos. That we don't exactly sleep all of our hours in a row. I'll sleep for a few hours, be awake for 1 or 2, then sleep again until I'm well rested. My boss assumes I can come in 8 hours early if he needs me just because I answered a text. So much this. I wish I could get my parents, mostly my mother, to understand this one. I'll sleep for a couple hours when I get home, then be up for lunch, and she'll invite me to dinner and act all put out when I turn her down. I work at 8. I've been going to work at 8 for 2 years now. I need my afternoon nap so I don't pass out on the drive home at 4:35 AM. That the people who visit a store at 3 AM are either batshit crazy or tourists. Oh really, Sharon? You had a difficult customer today? I had a tweaked out, 6 feet 8 feet tall guy ask me what wine goes best with a pile of drugs, and that wasn't even the most difficult customer I had this week. That the date changes halfway through the shift. The labs must think I'm an idiot because I have moments when I forget to change the date on the specimens even though I'm writing the correct time on them. Oh, and daylight savings time. Mostly in the fall, but that crap throws you off when you're balls to the wall busy during the time change. Done it once, would rather not do it again. The time change sucks ass in the fall. It's 1 AM for 2 hours, but it feels like 4. That I sleep during the day. You will be surprised by the amount of people who can't figure that out. People who think that just because I'm off I can do whatever they need. Do you want to wake up at 2 AM to come hang out with me before work? Your supper options are bacon and eggs. Also, I don't drink, but going for a beer after work at 7 AM is interesting. Thank God for Waffle House, IHOP, and Denny's, where you can at least get a burger any time of the day. I've been working midnight so long, I forget that rush hour is a thing. The line at the bank, the DMV or the grocery store are very short and sometimes non-existent, which is nice. I am the youngest person at the gym by 3 decades. I communicate with companies a lot by chat or email because when I have time at 1 AM, the rest of the world is asleep, so it could take a few days to change a phone plan or get an answer to a question regarding insurance or something. Working midnights is the best excuse to get out of virtually any obligation I don't want to do. Sorry, I work midnights, and people are like, alright, no problem. You'll be texting a friend at work, having a lively conversation, and they will just disappear. 9 hours later they'll be like, sorry, I feel asleep. Yeah, no crap. I'm an 11-year veteran of night shifts, 11 PM to 6:30 AM, 5 nights on 2 off with optional overtime. The most fun is doctor's appointments for tests that have to be done when you first wake up. Appointment scheduling always goes the same way. Admin, you need to be here at 0830 for the test. Me, I'm a night worker. Admin, oh, let me just speak to the doctor about that. Admin calls back 5 minutes later. The doctor says to come at that time anyways. Me, okay, fine. I get to the appointment. Doctor, why are you so tired? Me, I work nights. I finished my shift 2 hours ago and haven't slept yet. Doctor, well this test is pointless then. We need your morning readings. Me, I told the guy on the phone, who spoke to you, and you said come anyways. Doctor, well, yes, I did. We'll do it anyway and see what happens. Always fun. Constantly having to use the line if you'll check your notes that you made on my record. That going to the bank, doctor, dentist appointments, the mechanic to get your car fixed, basically anything people do during 9 am to 5 am just fricks up your sleeping schedule for a whole week because you can't get your sleeping schedule back on track. Imagine a 9 am to 5 pm worker having to get up at 2 am to go do these things. That would actually be easier because it is easier to try and go back to sleep at night than during the day. Yes, when on the 4 midnight shift, schedulers are always trying to pawn off their 8:30 am appointments. For my convenience, of course. I have this problem all the time with certain docs entitled enough to try and get me to come in hours early if they have a cancellation. My DND on phone is my savior. Hey, sorry, I'm just now responding to your message. I just woke up. It's 2 pm. Lazy butt. I don't get home until after 4 am. And don't fall asleep as soon as I get home. Frick off with your ignorant bulls. When you reply at 3 pm and say you just woke up and someone says you're living the dream because your day is so chill. LOL, frick off. The lack of social life. I haven't seen this mentioned, but a lot of times, people who work second and third shift tend to be kinder, or at the very least, low drama. At least for me, it's because there's minimum oversight at nights by administrators. During the day there's 1,000 higher ups breathing down everyone's neck. At night, just the working crew doing what we gotta do. Why don't you ever answer your phone? B. It's on silent. I sleeping. Driving home after work into the blazing morning sunrise pisses me off like nothing else. The sun is too bright, too hot, and I might be a vampire. Seeing all the traffic going the other way though, feels good, man. That night shift workers are perceived as lazy fricks because they sleep days. Morning shift thinks you're lazy. Hey, if we don't do anything all night, come and pick up some overtime to see firsthand just how dead it is. The dull little headache you always have. 8 hours sleep, if you can get it, does not produce the same results as 8 hours sleep during the night. There's some chemical the body produces when you sleep at night that it didn't produce if you sleep during the day. I'll be fine for a few weeks, then suddenly I'll be dead tired for a few days no matter how much I sleep. Just quit my night shift job like 2 weeks ago. We had this problem where if day shift didn't want to do their job, worked call center, they'd just tell people to phone after 5 even if they knew a problem wouldn't be resolved by then. It was our problem whether we liked it or not. Because day shift apparently hated our guys. It happened so much that we asked management to get them to, stop. They said they would investigate and did nothing and still shouted at us when our calls took so long. So to answer your question, day shift never understood just how much we disliked them. One of the very many reasons I left. Worked night shifts, 6 pm 6 am, for almost a decade. After 10 years, people don't understand that phoning texting me at 1 pm makes no sense. It's exactly the same as me phoning you to chat at 1 am. You would be right? It's perfectly acceptable for me to have a whiskey and or a joint at 7:30 am while you visit for a coffee. Same as you doing so after a day's work and dinner. After so many years, they still comment on me showing up somewhere at 2:30 or 3 pm with a coffee and yawning. Why are you yawning? Amish ho fights. It's early afternoon for God's sake. I just woke up half an hour ago. You know this. I like to sit on my front porch and drink a beer while I watch people drive by on their way to work. The looks some people give you are hilarious. This is coming from factory work, but I bet plenty other industries know what I'm talking about. Night shift is not day shift's nanny. We're not there to clean up after you, we're there to continue production as normal and wet the line for when you come back so that hour-long coffee break you start your day with isn't actually as necessary as you pretend it is. Day shift has access to the decision makers, the experts, engineers, salespeople, the customers themselves if necessary. They have at least twice as many people as the off shift, and they get the regular supply deliveries. There is no sense at all in leaving something difficult, tricky, or problematic for nights to handle. The shift premium does not mean we are paid more to deal with the bulls you didn't want to handle. It is meager compensation because working hours and counter to the rhythms of the body literally takes years off our lives. Your body isn't meant to sleep during the day and be up all night. It doesn't matter how much I sleep, I'm always tired. I developed a sleep disorder because of my sleeping habits trying to keep friends. 1. Work all night. 2. Sleep from 8 am 10 or 11 am. 3. Stay up until 7-8 pm. 4. Sleep until 10 pm. 5. Work all night. Lawn crews with leaf blowers are agents of Satan. I like nights. There's much more autonomy, whereas on day shift I see a lot more hand-holding. Don't get me wrong, the day shift staff is great, but they always have an incredible amount of backup for problems. If something goes to crap on nights, you better know how to fix it. I've also started working exclusively 3 days in a row if I can help it. None of that one day off nonsense. Helps my sleep schedule. Shut your freaking dogs up. And turn the goddamn music down. Sleeping during the day is way harder than you think. It's more than just sleeping through the light and noise. Your whole rhythm is off. It's not uncommon for me to sleep 3-4 hours, be awake for another 3-4, then take a 2-hour nap before my shift starts. Why does night shift get all the hours? Because we are 90% the reason the store makes money with having product on the shelf, the other 10% being the cashiers taking the money. Why does night shift get all the overtime? Reason 1, because we have to get our job done no matter what. We can't leave product off the shelf or it can't be sold and we don't make money off of it. Reason 2, because when you don't do your job during the day, we get stuck having to do it because it has to get done no matter if you didn't plan out enough time for it or not. Also, if some stuff comes in early and you do have everything else done, don't work it. But thank you for telling me so that I know that I will have to go through and fix it tomorrow when I work it. These hours also kill any hope of normal relationships. You either haven't so coming into it or you die alone. That you're always having to sacrifice sleep in order to get things done. Kids got a ballet recital? Guess you're getting 4 hours of sleep today. Go to the dentist? If you go to sleep exactly when you get home, maybe you can get 5 hours. I'm a nurse. No, my patients don't sleep all night. Those nice little old ladies and gentlemen you have during the day turn into wall-crawling monsters at night. No, I don't sleep and browse the internet all night. My job is just as hard as yours. I get more patients than you with less staff to help. If you think it's so easy, come work nights. How noisy crap is during the day. Most cities have noise ordinances for barking dogs, loud music, etc. that aren't just for nighttime. They are in effect all day too. But nobody ever understands when you try to talk to them about their dog who barks for 3 hours every afternoon or their music that is on full blast with the windows open. Just know that if you might be keeping a nurse, doctor, or EMT awake, they may be tasked with saving your life or someone else's later that night. Just because you're buying alcohol at 10 am doesn't mean you're an alcoholic. For some people that's the end of their day and they also would like to enjoy beer to relax after work. I lost track of what day it was. When you work days, you know you wake up on Monday, you go to work on Monday, you get home on Monday, you sleep on Monday. Working nights, I'd wake up at 5 pm on Monday, work, then get home at 3, 4, 5 am. I've not slept so it's still Monday, right? But no, it's actually Tuesday. I lost count of how many times I forgot what day it was. Don't call me at noon and act all astonished you're still asleep. Yes, butthole. If I called you at midnight would you be asleep? Just how quiet it is. We all experience that every once in a while when you end up outside awake at 3 am. Helps to not be around drunk people. When you work nights you really get used to it and the silence is so nice and daytime is so dang loud. Night shift is so lazy, the reason for these problems. Frick you, all of you. I just worked 8 hours, in the middle of the night, with a skeleton crew, just barely managing to keep our customers happy and ourselves sane, and the morning shift people want to roast you about it, you come do it. Double dog dare. So, you really just sleep all day? Well, you really just sleep all night, do you not? Big yellow ball hurt eyes. Also don't wake us up for lunch supper. I don't wake you up at 2 am for hamburgers. Leave me alone. I just started a grave shift job a while ago. Biggest part is definitely everyone saying I'm never around anymore. Yeah, I'm sleeping, so I can work all night. It isn't complicated, man. That do feels sweet going to bed having done yours while everyone else is struggling to get out of bed to do theirs. The pleasure of driving around London when there is nobody around. That drunk people don't get really awful until 10 PM. You have been visited by the hamster of joy. Comment I like chicken to live a happy and full of joy like the joy hamster life. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Or don't. Either way, have a great day you magnificent people.